Also coming up, National Food Suppliers Association demands purchasing order from government to enable members supply food to senior high schools amidst looming feeding crisis in schools.
We are waiting for the green light. Go ahead, do this, do that, then we can supply. Because we are liquid. We have the money. We have food in stock. Everything. We have them. Everything is there.
Electricum Ghana Limited demands thorough investigations into violent attack on its premises by alleged supporters of the NDC.
They send warning to our staff that are living in the bungalow that all of them must evacuate immediately. They are coming in their numbers to take over, and that no Electricum staff or Electricum employee would be allowed to continue their normal work.
And later, some affected traders in Kantamanto accuse the Ghana National Fire Service of extortion in exchange for fire reports as they begin reconstruction of their stalls. We have details of these and many others all in this 30 minutes bulletin. To stay tuned in.
Starr News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, My Star Radio in the USA. Also live on Facebook on Starr 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Starr 103.5 FM. Starr News. Informed, in depth, in touch.
And I am Lily Mohammed. Now, for many are called, but few are chosen. That's the biblical principle President John Dramani Mahama is seeking to live by as he reveals thousands of CVs have been sent to him by individuals hoping to secure positions in his administration. He, however, says he will stick to his promise to Ghanaians to appoint 60 ministers, leaving many disappointed. He spoke at the inaugural dinner held here in Accra.
I cannot do this work alone, and so I have to select some people to join me to be able to deliver the resets that we have promised Ghanaians. And it's coming at a time when Ghanaians expected a reduction in the size of government. And so you won't want to be in my shoes when you promise to appoint only 60 ministers and you have thousands of people sending their CVs. Definitely some people will be disappointed. But it's not only by playing a role at that level that you can contribute to the success of government. There are many other things that we can all do. And I always say that the success of this administration will guarantee us, another term, maybe under some other leader. But we need to get this right so that Ghanaians will repose the confidence in us and give us another opportunity to continue. So all of us must put our shoulders to the wheel and work as hard as we can in order to achieve this.
That's the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama. Now, his first batch of ministerial nominees has sparked mixed reactions, with the minority questioning the rationale behind naming only 3 ministers, and the minority indicating that the NDC may not be ready for power. But is that the case? There's more in this report.
The announcement of President Mahama's first batch of ministerial nominees has sparked a range of reactions. The president nominated Dr. Kasiel Atuforsen for the Finance Ministry, John Jinapo for Energy, and Dr. Dominic Ayine for Justice. These nominations were presented to Parliament by Felix Kwachiofosu, the acting spokesperson for the presidency. However, the move has been met with some criticism from the minority, who have questioned the rationale behind presenting only 3 ministerial nominees at this stage. Minority leader Alexander Afenumaking has suggested that this could indicate the National Democratic Congress is not prepared for governance.
The Energy Minister designate and the Attorney General and Minister of Justice designate. Mr. Speaker, this thoughts appointment is unacceptable.
We on the minority side will be ready for you at the appointment committee. We want to caution your nominee to come prepared. It's not going to be business as usual. Come prepared.
But is this truly the case? Many analysts argue that it's the final results rather than the initial announcements that matter most. Kojo Yaoche is policy lead for petroleum and conventional energy at the Africa Center for Energy Policy. He offers a more optimistic perspective.
He's chairing a technical committee that is supposed to come up with a roadmap on what contingency measures we can put in place within the period that WACO anticipates that is going to have its pigging exercise. So he has already kicked the ball rolling.
This position is backed by private legal practitioner Bobby Banson, who believes Dr. Dominic Aine's appointment as Attorney General is appropriate.
There is no doubt about Dr. Aine's competence, credibility, or qualification for this role. Looking at his work in academia, in private practice, also as a public person in terms of being a politician. And so I'm very confident that he would continue, or he would carry out the vision of the president in respect of the Attorney General's office and also as the Minister of Justice.
On the finance side, economist and senior lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Patrick Esuming, points out the burden of the task awaiting the finance minister.
Thankfully, I think, like you said, he's been there somewhere before. He's been a deputy finance minister before. And I believe he has the requisite qualifications. He has a background in taxation and finance and economics, which all help in boosted. But I think the tax is enormous. And I think it starts with the first budget that will be read. We want to see the direction of the fiscal consolidation.
Still on appointments, the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana is in person upon President John Dramani Mahama to nominate a Minister for Agriculture that is youthful and possesses an agric background. The association argues such a character will easily connect to stakeholders in the agric value chain. Let's now engage with Pia Awal Aduwala, who is National President of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana. Good afternoon to you, and thank you for joining us here on the Starr Midday News.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Now, you have some proposals for President Mahama when it comes to the agric sector and, by extension, the agric ministry. What are these proposals?
Oh, yeah, for us, it's very simple. We clearly are saying that the president must pay attention critically to areas that affect farming. For example, the Kwalugu multipurpose dam that has the potential of irrigating over 15,000 hectares of land. We expect to see action in that area because we can no longer depend on the rain. We can't be doing rain-fed agriculture in this era where we have climate change. So we believe that with the construction of that dam and, of course, other dams across the country, to help smallholder farmers to mitigate the effects of climate change, which is very, very important. And, of course, we are equally looking at the president this time appointing a more affable and approachable minister, somebody who can work with the agriculture value chain, somebody who can sit together with all the stakeholders in the agriculture sector to devise solutions and look at the way forward in solving the myriad of problems that are bedeviling farmers. And we are so happy because the president is a farmer himself. We know the president has information about first-hand information about challenges that farmers are facing. So we expect him to do that. And more importantly to us, the presidential pact that was signed to make sure that illegal mining is stopped in water bodies, in forest reserves, and on farmlands. We want to see that action. The president has to take that action in ensuring that our farmlands and water bodies are spared. Because if we fashion all the agriculture policies, and at the end of the day we destroy the land, where are we going to implement these policies? So we equally want to see action to save our farmlands from devastation, to save the water bodies, and of course, the forest reserves. So with all these things play a crucial role in our farming activities in the country.
In regards to your farming activities, you're a stakeholder, and so you know people that will have your best interest at heart. Do you perchance have any names that you will suggest to President Mahama?
We don't have a name that we are suggesting to the president. All what we are saying is that a criteria has been outlined in the president making an appointment. More importantly, we want to bring the youth on board to also look at issues of agriculture. So the president may be looking at a youthful person because such people are open to change. Such people, people who are within the youth bracket usually will not want to keep on doing the same thing over and over without results. Such a person must be approachable. Such a person must have an agriculture background who can sit together with stakeholders. But we are not here to tell the president that appoint A, B, C, D. No. From the experience we have had over the years, we are only making a proposal that in making an appointment, this criteria too should be considered for the president to do. Of course, he has the final say, and he should be able to decide on that.
Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Yes.
That's Wepia Awal Adugwala. He is the national president of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana. But I'm sure a lot of you out there have names in your head. But who are those in this particular race to become the next Agric Minister of the Republic of Ghana? Adam Kujo of the Research Desk joins me in studio. Adam, what have you been able to gather? Your ears and nose, eyes on the ground?
And so, Lily, it's going to be a very close contest, just like all the other portfolios, because it's just 60. The president says people will be disappointed. So someone or multiple people from this list would be disappointed. Well, we've gone around, we've done some digging, listening, and 4 names come up.
Okay.
And I'm going to start in no particular order so that no one thinks that when your name comes first, it means that you are most likely. So one name that has come up is currently the Director of Interparty and CSO's Relations of the NDC. He's also a former Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. Okay. In fact, as a professional, he is an agricultural economist and currently lectures at the UPSC with the Department of Economics and Actuarial Science. Now, recently, he had a PhD in agricultural economics from the University of Ghana. He has a BSc in agriculture and a master's in economic policy management. So this is somebody that has a very strong agric background. Now, additionally, this person I'm speaking of also was one of the NDC manifesto spokespersons on agriculture and agribusiness. I know I've not mentioned the name yet, but then Dr. Peter Boama Otokuno is actually one name that has come up strongly. Yes, so Otokuno's name has come up strongly.
I thought he was a farmer. Is he?
Yes, so he's actually even the CEO of a company called Hemp Agro Company Limited. Okay. And he has about 2 other agric businesses which he oversees. So he's someone that is
he knows the agribusiness. He knows the
agribusiness. And when it comes to age, he was born in 1983 on November 28th, so he's 41. Okay. So we can
the calls by the peasant farmers that they want a young person. He falls in that category.
Well, depends on how young they want. But 41 is
life begins at 40.
Yes, another name that has popped up, and this is an MP for Esunafo South. Okay. I'll not mention it. So if you know him, fine. But if not, then I'll mention it finally. He's a teacher, an agriculturist, and a farmer. Now, in fact, he actually in the 8th Parliament was the ranking member on the Food, Agric and Cocoa Affairs Committee. Okay. Those who have been listening to radio for a long time, he's the one that used to throw a lot of jabs at cocoa board, especially because his area where he's from is actually a cocoa farming area, and he's also a spokesperson on agribusiness. That is Eric Opoku. So Eric Opoku, but age-wise, Eric Opoku was born in 1970. So he's 54 years. Okay. So the question then is, will he actually fit that brand? Okay. Another name that comes in is Dr. Godfred Seydou Jasau. He's not really a popular person because he entered into parliament just in the 8th Parliament. Okay. And he's still the MP for in the Wa East, Wa West. So he's MP for Wa West. He has a BSc in Agric, an MSc in Social Policy, and a PhD in Sustainability. And he's the deputy ranking of the Cocoa Affairs Committee. Okay. Because he's in the race with his ranking, someone might therefore think, but by virtue of his background, he could also fit the bill. The final name, which is a wild card, is the man called Harry Yamson. Harry Yamson was also one of the spokespersons on the NDC's Agriculture and Agribusiness Manifesto Committee. What Harry Yamson brings is he's an economist, but he's a brands and development expert who has worked with Unilever, Royco, and a number of food processing companies that deal in brand promotion. So if you look at the president's message of he trying to make, for lack of a better word, agric sexy, then this is somebody that you think would play into the value chain. So these are the 4 names, and we are likely to see a name from one of this.
Well, we'll just hope and wait, right? We'll keep our fingers crossed and wait on President Mahama's nominees for the agricultural sector. But that's Edem Kujo of our research desk. Now, a victim of the infamous Kantamanto fire, Michael Dankwa, confirms to Starr News of paying 500 cedis in order to obtain a fire report. This follows a request from his bankers to allow for documentation for the purposes of repayment. Calvin Powell is at Kantamanto and joins me on phone. Calvin, kindly tell us more. What have you gathered?
All right, so I'm currently here. And,
it's Lily, by the way.
All right, sure. Sorry, forgive me, Lily. I'm currently at Kantamanto where the incident took place on 2nd of this very month, and I can confirm that victims are gradually getting the place in shape. They are putting up their various stalls in order to get back to business. But what actually brought us here to confirm has to do with reports of victims who obtained credit facilities from various financial institutions were asked to come along with police report and fire report to confirm their involvement in the fire. And the fire service, according to them, is demanding some amount of money from 500 cedis to 1,000 Ghana cedis before this fire report is issued to them. And one person that has confirmed that to me is by the name of Michael Dankwa. And he said he went there 3 days today and wanted the report, but he was told to pay an amount of 500 cedis. He pleaded for reduction, but he was told that even some people paid 1,000. So he was lucky that he was being asked to pay 500 cedis. So yesterday, he managed to gather some money and went to the Makola fire station and paid the 500 cedis. And he was told to come this morning for the report. So around 8 a.m. to the station, and he was issued the fire report, which he proceeded to hand to the bankers that he's been dealing with for some time now. So that's the situation. A number of them have actually paid for the fire service certificate before it was issued to them. And the National Fire Service has issued some release that anyone that fell victim should reach out and have their monies refunded after investigations are done. So they are preparing themselves to follow that trend as to receiving their money back, if that is anything to go back. That's the situation currently right here. But some are actually doing business. They put some umbrellas around and they are doing business, and for the time being asked to prepare their usual stores to get in shape.
All right, Calvin, thank you very much for that report from Kantamanto. That's my colleague Calvin Powell, live on the ground from the Kantamanto fire scene. After fire ravaged that entire market, traders are beginning to reconstruct their stores. They've made some allegations against the Ghana National Fire Service of extortion. The Ghana National Fire Service has responded in a statement, and my colleague Ibrahim Alassan joins me in studio with excerpts of that statement. Ibrahim, what does that statement say?
Well, first of all, it recognizes the story you just brought to listeners, that indeed some fire officers are extorting money ranging from 500 to 1,000 cedis from victims of the Kantamanto fire incident. And this is in demand for what they call letters of attestation or attestation letters. If you have an insurance, if you have a facility with a bank, and indeed such a disaster strikes you, there's a need for you to get some documentation as a proof that indeed you are a victim. And that's where the fire service comes in. Per the statement, this service is supposed to be rendered free of charge. And so you go for these documents and take them to your bankers or take them to your insurance company and make claims or prove as to why you are unable to service the loan that you have taken. What the Ghana National Fire Service is saying through the statement is that they are investigating this, and every officer involved will be dealt with after investigation. They have actually made available a contact to the victims who have have paid money to contact. So the contact here is 050-960-8744. 050-960-8744. That if you become a victim to this extortion, contact this number, and then the Ghana National Fire Service will address the matter for you.
All right, Ivy, thank you very much. But let's engage the PR of the Ghana National Fire Service, Alex Kinati. He joins me via phone. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Hi, good afternoon, madam.
I trust you're doing well, and Happy New Year to you. We haven't spoken this year. Your statement says that the fire reports for documentation purposes is supposed to be free. However, we have received reports that some members of the Ghana National Fire Service are charging, and you say you're investigating. But was there an education of a sort to these traders in the acquisition of reports that these reports are to be made free of charge?
Okay, so good afternoon to yourself and to your listeners again. So one, there's a difference between the fire report and then attestation. What they are asking for right now is a fire attestation. The fire report is not ready now because that is a document that contains the investigations and then recommendations going forward. So that one goes to the owners of the affected premises. In this case, it goes to the assembly. So the assembly would apply. But in this case, so it's an attestation to prove that, yes, they were part of the affected people. It is supposed to be free. Unfortunately, with your latter question about whether we've educated them, these market folks hardly make themselves available even for fire education. You know, it becomes a very big problem. That's how come we even see recurrence of these fires often. So it was drawn to our attention, and quickly we had to draw the attention of the public, including these affected traders, that it is illegal for them to be charged. So as a service, we are looking into it. So we deal with recalcitrant officers involved in this, and we are not taking it for granted. So yes, so that's why we came up with the release to draw people's attention to it and let them know that we are not resting on it.
So far as the Cantonment Fire incident is concerned, do we have preliminary investigations telling us the cause of the incident?
The investigation.
Come again?
Can you please hear me?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, please. I can hear you now.
Okay. So I'm asking, with regards to the Cantonment Fire incident, have we been able to establish through preliminary investigations the cause of the fire?
No, please. No, please. You know, fire investigations take quite a while, and especially for a place as big and as congested as Cantonment, so it takes quite a while to come up with the investigation. And then once the investigations are done, it goes through several processes, including the fire officer, before it comes out as a conclusive investigation. So for now, it's still an investigation.
All right, Mr. Nati, thank you very much for speaking to us as always. That's ADO1 Alex Kinati, he's PR of the Ghana National Fire Service. Let's move on and touch on education. The National Food Suppliers Association is demanding a purchasing order from government to enable members supply food to senior high schools. This follows reports of food shortages in some senior high schools across the country. Amidst calls for closure of schools until the crisis is resolved, the association says it has food in stock and therefore wants a purchasing order. Speaking to Starr News, President of the National Food Suppliers Association, Thomas Ewa, said members are ready to ensure food is distributed by Monday to all senior high schools.
We, as National Food Suppliers Association, we supply the food. And you know, we have changed, government have changed. So we are waiting for purchase order from the new government because we have food in stock. We have everything, all the food items, we have them. But then you can't get up and just go and supply, go to Accra Academy and say that I'm a supplier. I'm bringing 2,000 bags of rice. Who gave you that order? So that is what we are waiting for. We are waiting for the green light, go ahead, do this, do that, then we can supply. Because we are liquid. We have the money. We have food in stock. Everything. We have them. Everything is there. But we can't just go and supply without any order, authorization from, you know, minister or director or whatever. That is why we are waiting. We are ever ready. Even today, if they give us a green light, I can assure you we can supply every school, every part of Ghana by Monday, because the complaints we are getting is now getting out of hand. and for government to get its piece of mind. We know there's no money in the system, but fortunately, we suppliers, we have the money and we have food in stock. Are you getting me? We are ready. We are just waiting. Now go. Then everything will go. You won't hear anything about food shortage or blah 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 blah. I mean, once in a while it happens that maybe Akakami doesn't have oil. Presec have, stock of maybe 1,000 bags of rice. They don't have tin tomatoes. Those are, we don't call that one general shortage. Are you getting me? So we are waiting for the new government to give us a green light.
You heard that Thomas Ewua, president of the National Food Suppliers Association. He also condemned the position of Charles in calling for parents to supplement feeding of the awards. He was, however, quick to add that parents are ready to support if the need be.
This thing has been in existence. My daughter was in a Bree Girls. We were supporting. My daughter, my second daughter, is in Holy Child. First year. We are waiting for the headmistress to tell us what to do. It's like we need to support. We need to support. That one, I don't see that as a big deal. So if the heads are saying the kids should bring food items, I don't think it's in order. It is wrong. What quantities are they bringing? Who is bringing this? Who is bringing that? No. It's a wrong call. We need to sit down, dialogue, and move the food items to the schools. That's the most important thing. And fortunately, I'm telling you, we have the money and we have the food items. They are there in stock. Every region, we have them. You see, you fall on the association, National Food Suppliers Association, everything will be solved. I'm assuring you.
Thomas Ewua is President, National Food Suppliers Association. Let's now bring you some sports update. And Jones Aji joins me. Jones, what's up in sports this afternoon?
Right, so we start off from the Ghana Premier League, where president of Ghana Premier League side, Young Apostles Samuel Enim-Addo, has stood by his decision to voice out his concerns about the referee Maxwell Hansen following his performance over the weekend. His performance led to Accra Lions calling for urgent reforms to the country's football situation as they questioned some of the calls of the referee. Lions' complaints were supported by Enim-Addo, who allegedly says Hansen has been used by the Ghana Football Association for dirty works. While speaking on Joy this morning, he says he would have been a coward if he had not supported Accra Lions.
I know a lot of people say, why did I come out? But if Accra Lions have come out and I spoke about this same man, and it's about this same man, and I don't come out to support him, then I'll be a coward. Because I spoke about this same man at Congress. We were dialoguing, we were brainstorming, and I said, this man, why did that when he's appointed, there's this tag? Why? Yes. And after that, the threat I'm telling you about, it happened after, when I raised this.
Right now, let's move on to the under-17 side because Frimpong Manso has been appointed head coach of Ghana's under-17 national team, the Black Starlights, replacing Laia Kingston, who left during the WAFU Zumbi tournament in Ghana. Manso, a former Black Stars coach and assistant coach of the Black Mythos, is tasked with rebuilding the team to qualify for the next tournament. His extensive coaching career includes roles at Asante Kotoko, Karela United, Stade d'Abidjan, among others. The Black Starlights, two-time African champions and Ghana's first FIFA World Cup winners, last qualified for the Under-17 Championship in 2017, finishing as runners-up in Gabon. And some FA Cup action today, and at 3 p.m. we are going to see Atram Devisa take on Kotoku Cheyenne Stars, and then on Sunday we'll see a big game. Accelerate FC take on Asante Kotoko, and then Home Stars FC will travel to Accra to take on Accra Tofuk. My name is Joe Saji. That's all for sports today.
Thank you very much, Jones, for that sports update. Just before I let you go, Electrochem Ghana Limited is demanding a thorough investigation into violent attack on its premises by alleged supporters of the NDC. The incident occurred yesterday when armed men invaded the facility, causing chaos and injuring several staff members. The attack is reportedly affiliated with the NDC, made off with essential office supplies and a substantial quantity of salt products from the warehouse. CEO of Electrochem Ghana Limited, Abdul Razak Adam, has expressed concerns about the incident, highlighting the significant financial losses and disruptions to operation.
They broke into our warehouse and then they took away a lot of mobile pumping machines. They seized a couple of motorbikes. They took away a couple of air conditioners. They started stealing salt that worth over millions and millions of dollars. And we are being told that this is not the end. This is just the tip of the iceberg. As I speak right now, we receive intelligence that within the next 30 minutes, a community called Bonikope plan to storm the concession to completely take over. They send warning to our staff that are living in the bungalow that all of them must evacuate immediately. They are coming in their numbers to take over, and that no electrical staff or electrical employee would be allowed to continue their normal work. The company has been shut down right now.
That's Abdul Razak Adam. He's the CEO of Electricum Ghana Limited. And that brings us to an end of the news. My name is Lily Mohammed. For more news updates, kindly log on to starfm.com.gh. Do have a good afternoon.